All right, so full disclosure, I'm good buddies with Brandon from Franklin Armory. Let's take a quick second to just admire how handsome Brandon is. I mean, look at this guy.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Brandon. I'm with Franklin Armory, and today we're going to be doing a...
Stop it. Stop being so handsome. And dude just hit me up one day and was like, hey, you want a binary trigger for TNE? And I was like, me? We don't do that here. Like, no. So I explained to him, hey, you know, we've been conditioned to think of binary triggers as a range toy and whatever, right? So initially I was kind of hesitant. I was like, I treated it more as a joke. I was like, whoa, fucking influencer status over here. Holy shit. Well, what the fuck would I even do with a binary trigger anyways? Just fucking go out here in the middle of the desert and just do mag dumps like a fucking idiot? I asked myself, if I was to test it out just for shits and fucks, could there be a practical use for a binary trigger? Whatever, I don't know, let's fucking figure it out, right? So one idea I had was, okay, well, the binary trigger shoots one round and then shoots another at the release. If you do it quick enough, that technically could mimic a 2-round burst. And I thought to myself, what other weapon has a 2-round burst? And then I thought, doesn't the Chris Vector have a 2-round burst? So then I did some research and kind of saw how the 2-round burst works with the Chris Vector. And I was surprised to see that the 2-round burst is highly combat effective. The ability to put 2 rounds with one squeeze of a trigger, that's pretty nifty. That's pretty cool. So then I thought to myself, okay, well, what's the learning curve to be able to simulate and mimic that with a binary trigger? I would have to squeeze the trigger and let it go really fast, right? So I reached out to all of you on Instagram and a bunch of friends and competition shooters and a lot of people that know way more about this shit than me. And the consensus was that this is a waste of time. It's a fucking range toy. Just leave it like that. Just don't fucking look too deep into it. They're just binary triggers. They're fucking stupid. But here we are, and we're gonna test that out today. I wanna make sure, I wanna see how reliably I can get those 2-round bursts into a human-sized target for practical purposes, for self-defense, right? So today we're gonna be using a New Frontier C9, takes lock magazines, side charger. And we're gonna try to see if we're able to make that 2-round burst work reliably. Not to the level of the Chris Vector, because the Chris Vector has a fire rate that's fucking ungodly ridiculous. But the learning curve is there to have to squeeze the trigger, let it go really quickly. Most of us are not used to that. Most of us are used to, you know, holding in, shoot from the reset. And then some of us have gone past shooting from the reset. And this is totally completely different. It's definitely a learning curve just to squeeze and let go. It's a foreign concept and I'm sure I'm gonna be fucking it up. So that's what we're doing today. So safe, it's on safe, doesn't shoot. Semi, we'll shoot semi, shoots once, release, reset, good. Going to binary, then we're gonna shoot once, cancel the shot. It canceled the shot, it reset, cool. And then we're gonna shoot 2 rounds on binary. That's it, right?
Yeah. So that was forward and that was back and forward.
Yeah. So it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Because we're always so used to squeezing and holding.
Yeah.
That in order to bring it up and have to do squeeze and release. So even if you outrun the bolt, it'll still send the shot afterwards. Right. That's interesting. So it is like a Chris Vector, a 2-round Chris Vector.
Can you do more than 2?
If you keep going, yeah. But let's see how fast we can run that drum. Fuck it. All right.
I have more ammo.
So that was the whole drum. Nothing on there. Man, for a first drum, that's pretty darn impressive.
Yeah.
I decided to take a trip to New Frontier Manufacturing to further test the binary trigger a little bit more. And as you can see, the controlled pairs are working in really quick succession. Every once in a while I got a single shot, not exactly sure why, but most of them were controlled pairs and they were pretty damn spot on. So the idea behind this is simple. After every shot, you have to reset your trigger in order to be able to fire another shot. So in this case, while resetting your trigger, you're allowing another round to be fired. So if you have a really fast trigger reset, that is more than probably going to double the amount of fire rate that you can produce naturally.
The control pairs or double taps, however you want to call them, they were working out pretty well, to the point where I was shocked, because I was just like, oh, this is combat effective. It didn't take me long to get used to the whole concept of squeezing and releasing. The first couple of times it felt a little weird, but once you relate it back to other things, like I was a machine gunner in the Army, right? So you get used to multiple rounds leaving your barrel. It doesn't feel like such a foreign concept anymore. Maybe to some people that have never fired full auto, it will feel really strange. But to me, it was just like, oh, cool. I mean, this is one way to simulate that 2-round burst. So I like it. I mean, I know it's really early and I only shot, what? That was a 60-round mag, 60-round drum, and then 2 KCI mags. But yeah, I want to say the way it performed was pretty nice. Ammo aside, the way the trigger performed, it performed as advertised. The good thing about it too is that it does not remove your ability to shoot semi, right? So like a lot of people will say, it's just a range toy, you don't really need it for anything. And my argument to that is, I mean, why not just have it, right? You never know when you're gonna need it, especially in today's world where you may have multiple targets coming at you and you need to dispense rounds and follow-up shots quickly. Because, I mean, there have been instances where cops have shot someone 9 times and they keep coming, right? So if in between each and every those 9 shots, you could put an extra shot into someone, I think that would change the lethality aspect of your fire rate for sure. So it does not remove your semi-auto capability, which is nice. And in the case that you need a bigger volume of fire, which is still controlled, it's controllable. It's not like, yeah, if you start squeezing and releasing, yeah, you're gonna mag dump like a fucking idiot. But hey, guess what? If you need to mag dump into someone, then you can do it. It's a very quick, easy way to do it. Now, you may need better mags than the KCI mags, better ammo than the, I think it's Blazer. What I was shooting just now was Blazer. But all in all, it's just not, it's not a bad concept. It really isn't. And the fact that you can cancel the second shot, that's another thing. Like people say, well, I don't want to have a round go off if I don't want to shoot the second shot. And it's like, if you train yourself to fire one and then release to fire the next one, you've made the conscious decision to shoot one round and then you can shoot another follow-up by releasing the trigger, mathematically speaking, it cuts down the amount of actions that you have to perform in order to send rounds down range. Simply put, if you want to shoot 4 rounds, you have to perform 8 actions, right? So you have to squeeze, round goes off, release, squeeze again. So that right there was 3 actions. Whereas with the binary trigger, you squeeze once, round goes off, release, another round goes off, 2 and 2. Much better than having to go bang, release, bang, release, bang, release, bang, release. So you did 8 motions to accomplish 4 shots. Now there's a lot of people that mind you, that concept is negligible to them because people like Jerry Michalek can probably outrun a binary trigger because his fucking finger is a registered full auto seer at this point. But to us mere mortals, to be able to replicate that 2-round burst that I was talking about earlier, like the Chris Vector, I feel like if you're able to run it and test it reliably, then it's worth a shot. It really is. The price is a little high, but then again, you have to think about all the science that goes into making this thing, making that possible. One criticism that I have is I am a slut for radiant weapons, legit, fucking all out, full homo. I prefer the radiant talons. So if there's a way that they can partner up with radiant weapons and make it so they can accommodate radiant talons to fit into the safety selector, that'd be much better, because even though these safety selectors are great and everything, I mean, they're not bad whatsoever. I would prefer the radiant talons just because of how easier they are to engage, right? And then not to mention the installation is, I trust the installation of the radiant talons a little bit better. Probably should not be doing this review anyways because of the pandemic and the fact that ammo is short everywhere you look. It's probably not the smartest thing to do, but I figured, you know, hey, Franklin Armory was cool enough to be like, hey man, we'll send you a trigger and you can do whatever you want with it. I told them, I was like, you guys realize I'm not going to shill for the company, right? I'm going to be really unbiased. And because I mean, a lot of the companies that I work with, I don't post about as much. Like maybe I'll have one New Frontier Armory video on YouTube, maybe 1 or 2, maybe a couple posts on Instagram out of 3,000 posts. But the only times that I share something with y'all is because I really like it and I spent my money on it, right? Which leads me to the next point. I will not be keeping this trigger. I'm using it to test it. I may do a giveaway, give it to one of you guys, or return it back to them if they want me to. Eventually, I will get one because I want to do further testing with them. Whenever this whole pandemic shit is over, I want to try it out myself and test it further, see if I can make it run reliably. Specifically, I want to see in which platform it would run the most reliably, and at that point I will give it the okay for it to be a self-defense, qualified for self-defense, to run it reliably enough. I would say maybe 5,000 rounds will dictate that. If it can run 5,000 rounds without any malfunctions, any catastrophic malfunctions, then safe to assume that it's probably good to go.